and this is Chat with Nat. And today we're going to dive into CBD. In Excelsior, there is a shop that opened not that long ago. Actually, it's probably been a while, but it feels like so recent because there's always new things coming up there. Jes Naturals in Excelsior, and Patty Gilk's going to join us today and share about what's going on, what is CBD, what inspired her to open this store in Excelsior, and how it's going. So I would like to welcome Patty Gilk. Hey, Patty, welcome.
Hi. Hi there.
Now, tell me, I have to change out my glasses. When did you when did you open the store?
It will be 2 years in June. So
Ah,
we opened the summer before COVID,
wow.
which was nice just to get going here and meeting a lot of the people in the community. And so that kind of helped us throughout COVID.
Sure. And your background now was in nursing, right? Tell me a little bit about so you were a registered nurse
Yep.
and how that transitioned into I'm going to open a CBD store in Excelsior.
Right. So I was staying home. My kids were in college. I was looking to see what I was going to be doing next. I always was kind of entrepreneurial anyway. I went back and had my license reinstated. I was going to be working in a hospital or some type of setting. So I started researching CBD for me. I was having menopause symptoms, anxiety, just being anxious more, not sleeping and that. So I started researching this. And it was incredible, just the amount of information out there, the amount of misinformation out there. The fact that there's a science behind it, right? There's an endocannabinoid system in our bodies that are linked to the cannabinoids, all of that. And it helped me so much, literally helped me so much with looking up, the weather before I would want to drive downtown, if it was going to snow, just that tight feeling all the time. And it really helped me so much that I decided to open the store and be in our community to teach people and to have safe and effective products. I mean, that's what it's about. I didn't want someone else in here. My kids went to Excelsior, they graduated from Minnetonka, and I really wanted to be the one teaching people about this product.
Yeah, I get that. And I connected with Patty when she opened a couple years ago, and I got to say, what I find when I go into her store is she and anyone who works there, they're able to explain what each product is and what it specifically can help with. And I can tell you, I have my own joint issues, and I recently went home to Hawaii and accidentally went on a hike because Patty, I think I might have told you, my sister, it made it sound a lot easier than it was. Like that it was just, I
Uh-huh.
would be going down maybe a little bit of stairs or a slight incline. It was a hike that my body is really not set up to do. But with some walking sticks and the help of my daughter, I was able to get down. And then I had no choice but to get back up. But with two sticks and some help, I was able to do it. And I was so worried that I was going to be in so much pain because normally that's what happens. And there was a cream that I got from you, and I don't expect you to remember. I should have grabbed it. I put it on my knees I was putting them on my knees twice a day, and I did really well. It helped me so much. That would have landed me, if that happened to me at home, I think it would have landed me in bed, and it didn't. So I really appreciate that you do the education part, and because I'll go in thinking, oh, I kind of want to try, again, something with sleep. I am a woman of a certain age and going through perimenopause, and each sleep thing you've turned me on to, especially the gummies with CBD, because it's like having a little treat at night, has I found to be really helpful to relax me. Question for you: can you consume too much CBD? Because if you those gummies are so delicious, and maybe I might have eaten a few because they taste good, but I went to sleep, so I don't know. But
Yeah.
how do you? I mean, can, I mean, okay, I ate two. That's obviously like not going to hurt me, right?
Yeah. Yeah, CBD. Okay, you can't take too much CBD in that It does not affect the brainstem. It does not affect the breathing. There's no overdosing on it. It is just if you take too much, if you're doing it as a regimen every day to balance your body, because that's what it can do. And if you take too much, sometimes your body is rejecting it and saying, that's too much. And so it's not working as well. So it's about finding that dose that's perfect for you.
That makes a lot of sense. So I've kind of, I'm like, okay, this is not candy to just eat. This is I have one before bed.
Yes,
Now,
it definitely makes you tired when you take higher doses.
yeah, I mean, it worked great. I slept amazing.
Oh, good.
Now, in your store, Jes Naturals is right on Water Street in Excelsior. If you've not been there, stop in and check it out. I know sometimes you have where people can try certain products out. Is that something that you do regularly, or are there, times where you have in-store events that are better for people to come in and try? What would you suggest for someone who wanted to sample something?
So anybody can come in anytime now and try any of the products. We can talk about it, do a little consultation, and they can try any of the products in the store, not the sleep ones. I would not recommend that unless you're going home to bed, but they can try any of that. If you want a private consultation, you can do that online or just call me where there's no one in the store and we can just talk quietly and get into it a little bit more. But most of the time, people that come in, we have enough time to talk about the products and what it can do, and then maybe sample something or take it home. And if it's not the right product for you or you're not taking the right amount, people will call and say, how can we tweak this? And we work on that. The customers that come in all the time are the ones that pay attention to their body with taking how much, and then they find that dose that works well for them, and then they just walk in, they pick it off the shelf, they know what they like, and they'll try different things like chocolate, and that type of thing, but they figured out it's working well for them.
Yeah, because you have not just droppers for CBD and different types of CBD, but you also have chocolate. You have the honey sticks. You have, I mean, bath products. So there's so many
Mm-hmm.
different ways to get the CBD into your system and to be able to use it. Now,
Mm-hmm.
prior to the pandemic, and now that things are, restrictions are being lifted, I know that you were doing in-store events sometimes. Will that be available moving forward where if somebody, say, had, whether it was a Rotary or a mom's group, or, I mean, even, a bachelorette party or something like that, just a group of people who wanted to come in together off hours and try things out, are you still going to do those type of events?
Yes, I can't wait to start that up. We have not had an event in the store in a year. I just love them. The last event we had was a women's biz luncheon for the Chamber of Commerce. It was great. I mean, that's something I'm really excited about. I have a sign up sheet now. A lot of our regular customers are excited to bring a group in here and just learn about it. Everybody's curious about it. And then it just makes for a fun afternoon or night. So we're up for all of that for sure.
That's fantastic. Now, how would you explain one thing I've come to learn with you and by trying other CBD products, I've tried, when I've been traveling, especially, I've tried things outside of your store, and I've noticed it's not the same. Even the dog treat. So I'd given, when I had my little Koa, and now he's with my grandson, and my daughter has him, but even she gives him the little CBD treats. And we tried, because you're at the pet store or whatever, and you pick some up. They did not work the same as the dog treats that are in your store. So why is it the stuff in your store seems to work so much better than anything else I can find? I mean, because I'm
I've
seeing that
done
not
a,
all CBD is created equal.
it's not. And, there's been a lot of research and studies done where they pick X amount of bottles of CBD products and, more than half of them didn't even have CBD in them. So that's one thing. Another thing is dosing. If someone picks up a bottle of something and they try it and they'll say, whatever. Well, maybe it wasn't enough. Maybe it was too much. Maybe they needed a week to get it into their system to balance their system. We do have that endocannabinoid system in our body, long word, ECS, but it's responsible for balancing every system in our body. And they've known about this since the 90s.
Can you give an
So we'll see how
example
it
of how
goes
that
here.
works? Can you give an
It
example of
okay,
how
how
that the word I can't even say, but how that system works in, for simple terms for me?
yes, of course. So it creates homeostasis or balance of every system. So just like your immune system, digestive system, um, all cardiovascular system, this one is responsible for balancing all those systems. And where our cannabinoids internally are deficient, these are just plant cannabinoids from the hemp plant specifically. These are not intoxicating. This is just from the hemp plant. And what they do is help boost our system to be in better balance. And the amazing thing about it is if you say are anxious chronically, okay, something's going on. Well, after a few, like my husband, after a week or so, 2 weeks, he's like, "You're not yelling at me in the car anymore. What's going on? For going too fast or whatever." And I said, I know, right? So it just can balance your system. It works with the receptors in the endocannabinoid system. And that is the amazing thing about it. And as we go forward, now that it's legal 2 years ago from the hemp plant, there'll be more and more studies on people instead of rats, and we will be able to just figure it out even more. Right now, it's just anecdotal, types of things, or there's averages, of say 10 to 15 milligrams of CBD a day, right? But the range can be say 10 to 100.
That someone
So
could
there
consume
are ways.
depending on their needs.
Hmm?
So it
What's
could
that?
be up to now. When you say up to 100 milligrams, do you mean in a single dose?
In a
That
single day. I
a
don't
day.
know. I mean, not that it wouldn't be okay. I just don't. In the couple years we've been here, I've seen up to around 70, big burly guys that can't sleep and have a lot of pain, that that kind of thing. But
Yeah, and that's what I've noticed too is it, and I've not understood the science behind it or really how it works, even though I know you've explained it to me a few times. It's each time it makes more and more sense. So our body has our own basically system. What say the word again? Now I'm like
endocannabinoid,
endocannabinoid system.
ECS.
Yeah. So the CBD then it just seems to know where to go where our body needs support. Because I know if
Yes.
I put it on my knees, I mean, it just absorbs in. I'm over here thinking all like, "Ooh, this is magic. I'm just gonna put it on my knees, and I'm not gonna have pain. Yay!" But
Yeah.
I mean, there's science behind it, right?
Right.
How you put it on the when you put it on your body parts versus consuming it. Does that make it more targeted for those areas?
Yes, and that's a great way for someone to start because if you're on any medication, you should run it by your doctor. They're doing studies now to see with this medication, with that medication. So run it by your doctor. They're all, not all, a lot of them are becoming very open to this for sure. Instead of starting on some type of anti-anxiety medication or try this, maybe it's just a situational thing for you. So I'm loving to hear that. But the topicals, they don't get in your bloodstream, so anybody can use them without worrying about that type of thing. And CBD is a natural anti-inflammatory, so that's what you're feeling. And of course the skin is a system in our body. It's called the integumentary system, right? It's a system in itself where you have CBD cannabinoid receptors too.
That makes so
But the
much
natural
sense.
anti-inflammatory is not only for the skin topically, but when you ingest it, right? It's just this natural anti-inflammatory. And all disease is inflammation. And to be able to even use CBD regularly just for balance, you might not have one thing that you're targeting. A lot of people would just start trying 10 to 20 milligrams a day, and after a month say, I'm just feeling better. I'm feeling not as short. I'm feeling not as, it's not as hard to get up and take steps down the stairs or what have you. Or some people just take it before they get on an airplane, right? Just, before before this,
Hmm.
before a presentation, because they don't have something chronic all the time. Just taking it situationally is okay too.
Yeah, it's great that it works that way as well. And for people who don't know, now CBD comes from hemp, but there is not the psychoactive part of THC in it that where people can have a psychoactive effect. There's not there. Can you explain that part? Because some people have a question about, oh, well, but I don't want to use something that comes from cannabis. Can you explain how that really is not a concern?
Right. So cannabis is the genus of the plant. Okay. Marijuana is cannabis. Marijuana has tons of THC that gives you that intoxicating high effect. It also has CBD and other cannabinoids. That's marijuana. But hemp is also cannabis. Hemp never had enough THC to get anybody high. But, and it has tons of CBD and other cannabinoids. But in the 70s, cannabis was made illegal, right? So cannabis goes and hemp had to go along with it, even though it was used medicinally for 2,000 years and never got anyone high. Okay, so they're realizing this, and that's why 2 years ago, CBD from the hemp plant is what is legal federally. So it's a compound they're extracting. They extract it from the hemp plant, like a almond extract or how they extract it from the plant is all really that they're doing. And then the oils, they're mixing it with like a MCT or coconut oil and olive oil, and that's where you get the oil that you drop under your tongue, those things you hold for a minute. That's the fastest working of the routes. Then there's gummies. Then there's actually soft gel pills you can take just with water. So
Oh,
there's
okay.
there's a lot of different ways to go about it, especially the pills. A lot of the older, I'm older, but the older generation kind of likes the pill with water, just easier.
Yeah. And it would be easy to travel with as well
Yep.
in pill form. I know you also have these CBD sticks that I'm a big fan of because you can just use the stick and just rub it on whatever area is hurting.
Yep.
And when I travel and even at home, I use those because I spend a lot of time on devices or at my
Yeah.
computer and have a tendency to not maintain the posture I'm supposed to. And
Yep.
so I end up, with some discomfort and pain. And you can just like rub it right on there. And it's something you
Yep.
can do on your own too. You don't need someone to put it on for you because you just can use the stick. I
Right.
found that very helpful. You
Mm-hmm.
also have, and this was really surprising to me, don't you? You have some kind of a drink too that has CBD in it. Can you tell us more about that?
We do. We have a couple drinks here now. We have a sparkling water. It's in a can, and it has 25 milligrams of CBD, which is kind of an average, daily dose. Some people might take 25 milligrams of CBD and feel a little bit tired. Some people don't at all. So you'll just have to see. But that drink is great. A lot of people have been coming in for those, for the Zoom calls, working from home. And you're getting the anti-inflammatory benefits too. It's not just like I'm drinking something to relax.
Hmm.
Anytime you take it, you're getting the anti-inflammatory benefit too. So people are using that in lieu of alcohol, just for calming. And then we also have this wine now. It's called Sip Cozy. It comes, in the regular bottle. It's non-alcoholic wine, and then it is infused with CBD, so it can be calming, and you're still getting the flavor of the rosé
Oh, wow.
without the hangover.
So there's no alcohol in it.
No,
What's the sugar content like? Do you know?
it is not very high in sugar. I don't know exactly what it is, but it's definitely not very high, and it's also vegan, and it's just it's like drinking an O'Doul's beer,
Yeah.
but it doesn't have, but adding CBD to it.
And does it come in full kind of like full wine bottle size or is
Yeah,
it in
I have
cans?
one right here,
Can you see
as a
it?
matter of fact. Just happen to have one here.
Look at that.
This is it.
Okay.
Isn't it cute?
That
It's called
is.
Sip Cozy.
I'm going to have to try that as someone who I don't drink alcohol.
Yeah.
And I've not tried, because I've had some people say, well, you could do a non-alcoholic wine, and of course, being an alcoholic, I'm always like, well, what's the point of that? But having something, and I've really enjoyed your CBD drinks because they're like a sparkling water, and often, I get tired of drinking just flat water or soda
Uh-huh.
water, and I want something that I can feel like, oh, I want to sit outside and just have a nice drink. I'm gonna have to try that. How much CBD is in
It's
each serving?
right now there's 20 milligrams in each serving, and they're saying 2 servings, and there's 8 grams of sugar per serving.
Oh, that's
So it's a
nice.
half a. They're saying a half a bottle is a serving.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay. All right. I'm gonna be coming by your shop today. You
not
should
the
send me
bottle
some.
like we usually.
Yeah.
Uh,
Is that? I'm assuming then you chill it just like you would a rosé.
yeah, you chill it, and with the lid back on it, it's not a cork. It's just like a little lid. It can last for over a week.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to swing by and
and I'm
see.
hoping they're gonna get some cans with this
Ah.
instead of the bottle. To take
Yeah.
on the boat, whatever.
Yeah, that's so
I
cool
know.
because that's kind of what I miss. Sometimes that's the part of drinking that I miss is a nice drink or a cocktail. And the problem with a lot of virgin non-alcoholic drinks is they're so full of sugar.
Right.
And I also try to avoid because sugar's so inflammatory. I try to
Yep.
avoid that, which is in part why I also avoid alcohol. So it makes no sense to drink something that has a ton of sugar in it. But that sounds really good. Now I'm super excited. Now I can sit outside with my bottle of CBD non-alcoholic wine.
Uh-huh.
Now, tell me, in Excelsior, you're very involved in the Excelsior downtown community, and with restrictions being lifted, events are happening again. Crazy Days is coming up in Excelsior, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think it's July 21st through the 24th.
Yeah, it's Thursday through Sunday, whatever that weekend is. Yep.
Yeah, at the end of July. So check your calendar. Don't take those
Yep.
dates verbatim. I'll look it up and then I'll try and post it in the
22nd.
chat.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
22nd through the 25th.
Fantastic. So, do you know then, and I'm going to get Jen from the chamber on again soon to update us on other events happening in Excelsior. But for
Yeah.
Crazy Days now, is it going to be like it's been in the past where we're going to have vendors outside? It's full blown again, right?
It is. And they're even having some music this year. So I don't know
Oh,
exactly what that's going to look like, but they're going to have music kind of throughout the street, is what they said, so that'll be really nice too.
that is. And are you doing anything in the store for Crazy Days, in or out of the
We
store?
will definitely be doing something. We'll have a tent outside. I'm looking at some, little face painters or, any type of outside fun. We're going to be looking at that too.
That's fantastic. Now, if you want to learn more about Jes Naturals, pop into the store. They're on Water Street, right in downtown Excelsior. Or you can go to jesnaturals.com. And if I'm correct, you also ship, right? People can order online.
Yes. We ship anywhere in the country.
That's fantastic. Well,
Yeah,
I'm so excited. I'm going to have to, like I said, I'm going to run out and you have that in stock, right?
I
The
do.
Okay, look at me. I'm all
The
about it
wine.
now. You got the wine, right? You got the fake wine? Put a bottle
Yep.
aside for me because if people go in, I don't want to be without.
Okay. I'll do that.
And I'll
Definitely.
come buy one. Well, thank you for joining and filling us in on CBD and your store and what's happening in downtown Excelsior. It's great news that restrictions are being lifted. We're going to have live music again. Crazy Days is coming up. Now, if you're in the Lake Minnetonka community, shoot me an email. Reach out at nataliewebster.com. Send me an email if you'd like to be on Chat with Nat to share about a local event or a business, or if you know of an individual who's doing great things in the community. What I do is I interview people in the community who are creating community in the places that we love, which is exactly what Patty's doing with Jes Naturals. So hold tight, Patty. Everybody else, thank you so much for joining, and I will chat at you later.